You have been well trained, my young apprentice. They will be no match for you.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Born on the planet Dathomir, Maul was taken by Sidious as a small child and trained to be an assassin of the Sith under his very tutelage. Sidious's dark and disturbing teaching techniques are what caused Maul to grow as a hateful and callous creature who only answered to his master. Sidious was a master of all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, teaching Maul the basics of all forms but mastering him in the last 7th form, Juyo, the most aggressive, dominant, acrobatic, and difficult form there was. That said, he also mastered Maul in the form 6, Niman, which is a combination of the 5 previous lightsaber forms. So in essence, Maul mastered almost all forms while using the 7th as his primary tool. Maul's name literally translates to hammer, which is exactly what he was in combat. He was so mentally tough that he is known to have withstood barrages of force lightning, ignoring the pain and paralyzation and still attacking his enemies. His hatred is what makes him stronger, and when you hate everything around you, including your master who turned against you, there is a resiliency to all things mortal, and in Maul's case, this was evident. Maul's physical condition was the best of any Sith known to the galaxy. This is where I get to my next point. Many undermine Maul because he doesn't harbor the same kinds of force powers that others use extrinsically. For example, we see the Jedi use their abilities to heal others and meditate on the future and their surroundings. Sith, like Sidious and Dooku, use Force Lightning, while Vader uses Force Choke, just to name one of his powers. However, Maul's force powers were harnessed within, in ways that we didn't directly see. Maul used his powers to enhance his body, such as his speed, acrobatic movements, and stamina, all while fighting 2 powerful Jedi simultaneously, and winning. Another way we see him use his force abilities was to enhance his mind, such as when he was cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi and is still alive today in Star Wars Rebels. The amount of pure hatred he can extend on not just killing the Jedi, as we hear him say in Episode 1,
Tatooine is sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I will find them quickly, Master.
Move against the Jedi first. You will then have no difficulty in taking the Queen to Naboo to sign the treaty.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
shows us that he isn't tainted by politics, power, relationships, or greed for that matter. He merely wanted his revenge on the Jedi, who had it coming for over 1,000 years, and to be the most loyal servant to his master, who he saw like a father. Maul was barbaric, in the sense that he liked to get right up close and personal with his enemy. This is one reason why he didn't use Force Lightning as much. He was more of a savage than to just attack from far. He liked to stare into the eyes of his enemy as he took their life from them. This is why he didn't focus his talents on learning typical Force powers, as we see some other Sith do, although his telekinetic abilities were far beyond average. Maul has shattered doors, hurled people, uses the Force to induce a heart attack, levitated boulders, and manipulated a Republic ship in the Clone Wars, as we saw. He also had mastered Teras Kasi, which enabled a user to develop extreme speed and an aptitude for anticipating strikes. Many of the techniques and attacks of Teras Kasi were named after various animals around the galaxy, suggesting that practitioners of the martial art took inspiration from the way animals moved. To top all of this off, as if one blade wasn't enough, Maul wielded 2 blades, which he designed himself. In addition to all of this, Darth Maul was a genius at engineering. His skills in combining Force talents with mechanics called Meku Deru, Maul modified the protocol droid C-3PX into an assassin droid to guard his ship. Sidious gave Maul the funds and schematics he needed and provided his apprentice with a secret facility on Coruscant in which to work. There is where Maul constructed his signature speeder bike, Bloodfin, and the Dark Eye Seeker droids. In terms of midichlorians, sure, he didn't have the highest number, let's say, compared to Anakin, but neither did Obi-Wan. In fact, Obi-Wan was less attuned to the Force than almost all other Jedi. However, it was his ability to dial in and focus on practicing his skills that made him a master, and able to hold his defense long enough against Anakin in Episode 3. I think Maul was one of the most powerful Sith in Star Wars, not because of his pure-born talent with the Force, or his connection with it for that matter, but the way his brain was wired. He just would not stop. He would not quit, and he wouldn't take any other option other than being victorious, no matter how long it took or how many tries. He's literally the Dragon Ball Z equivalent of Vegeta. I always saw those 2 characters as somewhat similar, which is what makes them so popular. What do you think? Was Maul more powerful than, say, Vader? I'd like to cover that in another How Powerful Were They series. Thanks for watching this episode, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, remember,
The Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.